are here on what I shared at Stand for Jesus, a shadow mission by Samuel Chan. Meaning we're here and supposed to know the mission that we're coming together to love on our city, but we come with hidden agendas. And I don't say that in a negative way. You got an agenda because what you're passionate about, you're passionate about. And you come to this session trying to figure out how can Come Closer help me to promote what I do. That's okay. That's what we do. We're human. And what I want you to understand is we have to come to these gatherings and say, okay, let me put self aside and let me bring my talents and my ability and join with somebody else's talents and ability and see what we can do as a unit to bring this city up to another level that Christ can own the city. But the problem with many of us, when we come together and we really look like the church, usually it's in response when the devil comes in like a flood. You know, we can really come together when there's floods in Columbia and when there's shooting in Charleston. We see the church, man. We rally together, man. All denominational lines are gone. Color doesn't matter. We realize that God has called us to do something. We rally together. We do something great. But the problem is when the waters subside and the funerals are over, we go back behind our lines because we protect these lines. They're important to us because it tells me who I am. And the thing is, we won't rise up again until the devil does something great again. And then we respond again. And then after time passes, guess what we do? We go right back behind our lines. And so at some point, we're going to have to partnership. We're going to have to come together and realize that the partnership that we're talking about is a partnership in pain. We're looking for pain partners. Why do I say that? Because if we're going to love our city back to life, it's going to take some sacrifice. It's going to cause you to hurt. You're going to have to lose some stuff. If you're not having sleepless nights about what's going on in Spartanburg and how people are dying and going to hell, you don't have a passion for it. When it doesn't wake you up in the middle of the night and you're like, what's going on? When you look around Spartanburg, man, we're not doing anything as a church. I'm sorry. I heard Bishop Park last night, we were talking, he made this great statement, and somebody said we can steal what people say. Let me rob him this morning. He said the problem is that the ministries now is about the ministers. That we use our pulpits for our own platforms. He said, but in this one, I'm making you look smart, man. He said, but in this season, what God is doing is he's flipping this thing and he's making the ministers be about the ministry. What if every one of us set aside all of our personal agendas and ask God this simple question? What would you have me to do to love my city? Now, how can I promote my ministry? How can my business go to the next level? How can I get the next member? How can my church be bigger than the church down the street? But how can I love the little guy on the corner that goes to nobody's church? Come on. Are we not tired of riding past ministry to go to church? Come on. I spent 11 years as a pastor in one of the local churches here in Spartanburg. And I spent that time trying to build my own castle until the Holy Spirit broke my heart. It broke my heart because I looked around our city and realized our condition wasn't changing. More churches, but less Christians. You've heard Chris say it every time we come together. Over 600 churches, but yet 65% of the population are untouched. And we are still satisfied going behind our lines on Sunday morning, worshiping, singing, and the world is dying and going to hell. At some point, we all have to wake up, and we have to take the accountability of our city. And maybe we can't save everybody, but can you save the one that's unsaved on your street? I would dare even ask you, can you save the one that's sitting beside you in your pew? Until we realize that it's going to take all of us. Chris, maybe you were smart, because sometimes you have to bring somebody else to say the same thing in another way, that maybe you may reach somebody else, that they can say the same thing to another person. Thank you so much.
Do I need to introduce you? I'm supposed to